everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back to my subscribers. This is where we talk about money, saving, and turning your hard-earned money into wealth-building assets. This is Bald Guy Money. I'm Bald Guy. Let's talk money. Today I want to respond to a fantastic question/comment that I received on my video called "Watch This Before You Buy China's Digital Currency, Digital Yuan." Here's what somebody who calls themselves the Fuji Wooji said in the comments, which was actually very respectful and very much welcomed criticism of my point of view. He said, "I respectfully disagree with Bald Guy's assessment. In this entire 9-minute segment, he did not once mention gold or how it might potentially affect the popularity or desirability of a digital yuan. It hasn't gotten a lot of attention as China has been doing it under the radar, but China has been hoarding gold for the last 20 years, and for a reason. Some experts say China might have amassed as much as 20,000 tons of gold, by far the largest reserve of gold in the world." He continued to say, "My guess is that China will violently unseat Bitcoin as the go-to crypto by offering the world's first and only gold-backed digital currency. That would be revolutionary." And that is the general gist of what he said. And to be honest, the Fuji Wooji is not alone in having this opinion. The opinion is actually very prevalent online. But what is the truth about China's digital yuan and its relationship with gold? And does it change my mind on whether or not I would buy it? Let's explore it together. As always, please just remember that none of this is financial advice. I present my point of view using logic and math to help inform you, the viewer, about topics that matter. And one little favor before we get started, please, I'm still trying to build my channel. If you think my content is interesting, please hit the like button and subscribe. It increases the reach of my channel and it keeps me here doing my thing. Thanks. So, there is a lot of speculation about China's digital yuan. And the speculation is about it being backed by gold. And I can specifically find this on Reddit, online forums, Quora, the list goes on. And on the surface, it sounds great, even intriguing. Currency backed by gold, China's secret strategy, big launch at the 2022 Olympics. It almost makes you want to ask the question, where can I get this digital yuan, like right now? Until, of course, you do a little bit of research and find out that gold-backed crypto already exists. And you don't even need to surrender all of your personal data to the Chinese government in order to purchase it. In fact, here's a list of some top gold-backed cryptocurrencies that I found on coinmarketcap.com. The first one is Paxos Gold. The second one is Perth Mint Gold Token. Digix Global. You have Tether Gold. Tether actually is going to be audited soon, so that's one that might be a little more transparent moving forward. And you have Meld Gold by Algorand. So for full disclosure, I do not own any of these, and I prefer to own physical gold. That said, I trust the Perth Mint, an entity that opens itself up to be audited, and I trust them a lot more to provide me with a legitimate gold-backed cryptocurrency, definitely more than I trust the secretive and deceptive Chinese government to do so. So the first point on this topic is that a gold-backed digital yuan is not actually a game changer, unlike our commenter said, especially considering that you are basically putting your faith in the Chinese government that they actually have the gold they say they do, which is actually a problem because we know they are lying about how much gold they have today. More on that in a moment though. The second fatal flaw in the idea that China is hoarding gold to launch a gold-backed digital currency or digital yuan is that they do not have nearly enough gold. To confidently make this statement, I had to do a bit of research to find out exactly how much gold China has. And here's where the deception starts. Officially, China says they have about 2,000 tons of gold. Now we're talking metric tons. 1 metric ton equals 1,000 kilograms of gold. But according to some very sleuthy journalism done by Dominic Frisby at Money Week, link to his article is actually going to be in the description, so check him out too, please. He reckons that the official amount of gold they have is closer to 28,911 metric tons of gold. So what did I do for the sake of my calculations? I rounded it up to 30,000 tons of gold, just to be on the safe side, to make sure that we are giving them a fair shake at understanding exactly whether or not they have enough gold to cover the actual dollar value of the current amount of currency they have in circulation. And by the way, this actually makes China the owners of the largest gold reserve in the world, much more than the approximate 8,000 tons that the United States government holds. So let's pull up the numbers that I crunched for this. So as you can see here, China's estimated gold reserve in metric tons was my generous 30,000. Now, if we convert that in the next column into kilograms, that is 30 million kilograms of gold. If we then convert that amount of kilograms into troy ounces, that gives us 964,500,000 troy ounces of gold. With the price, as I'm making this video right now, being $1,810 per ounce of gold, that gives them a total value of gold in United States dollar terms of $1,745,745,000,000. So the most important numbers I take out of these are actually these two figures right here. Take a look. China has $1.75 trillion worth of gold, which is, assuming that the total value of all gold in the world is approximately $10 trillion, about 17.5% of the world's gold. Those are truly incredible numbers until you compare them to the actual supply of money as it stands today, August 5th, 2021, that exists in China. As of today, China has almost $10 trillion worth of yuans in total M1 money supply. M1 money supply, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, is the total amount of paper cash, coins, and bank deposits that are in the entire country. So now, if we do some simple math, we clearly see this creates a major hole in the theory that the yuan will be backed by gold, because they only have enough gold to cover 18% of their M1 money supply. Now, you may be saying they could fractionally cover it, which would still be good. And sure, I'll give you that point. But wouldn't that make it worth only the fraction of gold that actually backs it up? It certainly would in my eyes. Especially considering the fact that I can get gold-backed crypto from a reputable supplier like the Perth Mint right now, very easily. Now, for those of you also saying, yes, but they could just rebase their money and decrease their money supply to match the value of gold, which will make it stable. For those of you who studied basic economics, which is also the title of my favorite Thomas Sowell book, you'd know that a decrease in the supply of money also results in a decrease in demand of goods and spending, which would be a major blow to the Chinese consumer-driven economy. Something the government is actually trying to avoid by introducing the digital yuan, in fact. Because in some cases, the digital yuans that they will be giving to people will have built-in restrictions, in some cases limiting how long you can keep it for, basically forcing you to spend the money within a particular period of time. But the third and final blow to the gold-backed digital yuan theory is that the Chinese government ultimately wants control. And having a hard currency backed by gold is not control, not the way they understand it. I know a lot of you out there watching this now stack precious metals. I know you feel that it is real money and that it used to represent trust, stability, and freedom when it backed up the US dollar. And those are concepts that are totally incompatible with the current Chinese government, and ultimately why their digital yuan will not actually or properly be backed up by gold. So, coming back to the comment that inspired me to make this video, the concept of a gold-backed digital cryptocurrency already exists. The Chinese yuan would not be the first if the Chinese government actually decided to go in that direction, which again, I don't think they can for the following reasons. Number one, it requires transparency and auditing. They would have to actually open the doors to their gold vaults and allow a third independent party to come in and check exactly how much gold they have to make sure they have as much as they say they have, which again, as I've shown in this video already, we know that they have not been honest or transparent about how much gold they have up until this point. Number two, they don't have enough gold to cover their current money supply. As I said, if you remember, I showed that they only have enough gold to cover 18% of their current M1 money supply, which means that either they would have to decrease their total money supply, which would ultimately crash the Chinese economy, or they would have to fractionally cover their currency with gold, or fractionally back up their currency with gold, which would actually only give it the value that the gold which is fractionally backing it up has. And the final third point is that it's all about control, and gold doesn't give the Chinese government control. The Chinese government wants to be able to allocate money to different places when they feel it's needed. They want to be able to inflate the money supply to spur on Chinese consumer spending when the time is right. And having a gold-backed currency does not allow them to transparently or honestly do that. Now, does all of that mean that they won't say the digital yuan is backed by gold? Well, no, it doesn't guarantee anything. They could say anything they want to say. But in reality, all you have to do is look at the logic and the math that I presented in this video to determine the truth. And I have done a lot of work to present that to you in this video. And just a point on the digital yuan violently unseating Bitcoin as the top cryptocurrency. You all know that I am an investor or a holder of Bitcoin. Please remember the comparison that I did between the yuan and Bitcoin. Here, I'll put it up on the screen. Okay, so as you can see, the yuan is exactly stable versus the US dollar. And just so you know, this comparison is from my old digital yuan video. So if you're interested in checking that out, please check that out in my videos. So coming back to my point, the yuan is stable versus the US dollar over the last 10 years. Whereas the yuan has lost 99.6% of its value versus Bitcoin. The digital yuan isn't Bitcoin, and it never will be. Also, referring back to that old video that I did, comparing Bitcoin directly with the digital yuan, let's pull up this graphic one more time. Okay, so you can see Bitcoin is decentralized. Transactions are private but transparent. There is a limited supply of 21 million coins, and Bitcoin historically increases in value. So it is a store of value, just like gold is a store of value. It's not really a true currency, okay? The digital yuan is centralized, controlled by the Chinese government. It's not private or transparent. They have access to all the data of people who use it, where they use it, when they use it, etc. With respect to supply, again, even if they say it's backed by gold, it does not mean that they cannot inflate the supply, especially keeping in mind that we know they are not transparent about how much gold they're holding today. There's nothing to lead us to believe that they'd be transparent about the amount of gold they are holding when they introduce the digital yuan. And finally, the yuan as a currency itself is historically flat or in value, or actually decreasing in value when you compare it to assets like Bitcoin or gold. It's a currency, it's a fiat currency just like any other fiat currency, and you shouldn't expect that the new digital form of the yuan would be any different than the old paper form of the yuan. Remember, even if the Chinese government says it's backed by gold, we know better than that. That's it from my side. I'm currently working on a couple videos. One of them is actually about how to build passive income via your assets. But if there are any more requests or any ideas you guys have, please drop them in the comments. I'm active there in the comments, so if you do drop me a comment, I'll at least probably say hello to you. Link to my data sources in the description. That's something I'm also very transparent about. I take these videos very seriously, and I take what I say to you all very seriously. I'm not out here pushing lies. I don't have an agenda. Like I said, I'm just using facts, logic, math to talk about what matters to everybody. So as I sign off, as always, I wish you all happiness. I wish you success, and I hope that I see you in the next one. Take care.